Our first guest tonight is an Emmy-nominated Golden Globe-winning actress you know from shows like Felicity and The Americans, as well as the film Cocaine Bear. She stars in The Diplomat, which is streaming now on Netflix. Let's take a look.
You can wait by that chair, then you'll be out of eye shot when I open the door to receive him. Good.
You always have cookies?
Is that a problem?
For a reprimand?
Well, it's hardly a reprimand, is it?
Well, it should look like one.
The tell isn't the biscuits. It's the American ambassador lurking in the corner.
Please welcome back to the show our friend Gary Russell. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on this show. I feel like it's a show everyone's talking about. Everyone's talking about The Diplomat.
Well, that's very nice.
For years, in The Americans, you played someone conspiring against the U.S. government. Is it nice to now play a person within the U.S. government?
Well, I figured, I'm going to continue living in the United States. I better earn my keep.
Yeah, exactly. We were all starting to get a little suspicious about this Kerry Russell character.
We'll see.
You obviously shot this in the UK, and you shot in a lot of government buildings, a lot of places where there were a lot of protocols.
A lot. Generally, Americans and British people have different ways of working in the world.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just more words in a sentence there tends to be.
Yeah.
Americans are like, yes, no. And British people are just more polite about everything, and they ask about, the weather or your husband or your pet or whatever in this very lovely way. And Americans are like, no, this is what we're doing, But yes, we shot in these incredible, we shot at the U.S. Embassy, which was really incredible. This state-of-the-art building. They actually let us shoot there, which is incredible. I'm always like, it's us and the crew guys. They're gonna be eating burritos. This is not, don't let us in here. But they were very gracious. And these big, beautiful, that's sort of part of the show, is this thing that Americans don't exactly have, this grandeur and this, those stately homes.
Yeah, and I think just the appreciation for the way things are done. Are you good with rules like that? Do they tell you before you go to shoot in a building, Kerry, you can't behave the way you usually do?
I definitely do not invite my Moms Gone Wild. That's for sure.
You do have a pretty strong group of Moms Gone Wild, right?
I have a strong group of Moms Gone Wild. And
there have been multiple complaints in Brooklyn about you and your friends.
I would not be surprised. I seriously would not be surprised. No, I am a rule follower. In fact, on Felicity, way back in the olden days, thanks, guys. Speedman and Mandy.
This is Scott Speedman.
Scott Speedman.
Let's give it up for my friend Scott Speedman.
Yeah.
Speedy.
Of course, your brother, yes. So we would leave for lunch and do something, and I was the kid who was always like, guys, we have got to get back. They are going to be worried, and we have 10 minutes to get back. We must be on time. And they used to call me the homework reminder.
Really?
Yeah.
And now you're a very young person here, and I'm assuming Felicity is the first time you did a talk show.
Yes.
And how did you were nervous, right?
I'm a nervous person. It's part of me.
You do not give off a nervous vibe.
Sweating uncontrollably right
now.
So back then, I was even more nervous. And I'd never done anything like that. And there was no social media or any of that stuff.
There's no preparation either for being a talk show guest.
No.
Yeah.
And it was lovely.
Was it Rosie?
Yes.
It was
Thank
Rosie,
you very
and
much.
you know what else? That means it was here. It was in this studio. This is Rosie's
really?
old studio.
I've
So if you start having flashbacks,
I've wiped it out of my brain. So I was backstage, and she heard I was nervous, and so she very lovely. She came back and she said, "Hey, we're gonna go do this," and I was like, and I went out, and she was speaking so polite and so kind to me, and you can actually see me. I'm so nervous, and I'm smiling. She's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Colorado," and while wiping away a tear, tears coming down my face. And everyone said, "Oh, don't worry, no one will notice, no one will notice." And I went back and watched it. I'm definitely crying. Definitely crying.
Well, a lot of people cry when they get asked, "Where are you from?"
And you know what? It's it's just part. I hate it less about myself, and I think that's what makes it easier. I used to really beat myself up about it, and like it's not normal having to publicly speak or
No,
look.
and it's a part of, I think, acting that people forget. And then again, no one tells you, right? You go, you maybe study it as a craft, you get a show, and then you forget there's this whole promotional, ceremonial aspect of it.
There is, and they're two very different. Like someone who's really good at the ceremonial part isn't necessarily like great at acting, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't always work together. So yeah, which is very much our show, and that's.
Yeah, you do a lot of ceremony on The Diplomat as
A
well.
lot
You
of
found a
ceremony.
nice fit for yourself.
Yes, I did.
You found another nice fit on The Americans. Your partner, Matthew Rhys, and
I sure
I'm a big
did.
fan of his. You know. You know I'm a big fan of his.
Me too.
And the last time he was here,
Yeah.
we had a grand old time. I want to make sure, was it St. David's Day?
St. David's
Which
Day.
is a big Welsh
That's
holiday.
right. It's like the Welsh St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, well, St.
Yeah.
Patrick's Day. And one of the things you do is there's a leek eating contest. You eat raw leeks, and that's what he's usually a sexy gentleman, but when he's chomping on a
Oh,
leek,
he's going for it.
he's going for it. You know, I got the sense that he was going to, on St. David's Day, maybe tie one on a little bit. Like he had that energy when he was leaving here. Is that
So-
your memory of it?
We are, still parents, so we're pretty boring as it goes. But every once in a while he does, and I will say he did go out after that, even after his time with you, and came home very late and in a certain state, and we actually in the morning found the footage of our security, like the security camera of the front door, and rewatched it.
You and he together? And how did he do? Do you guys have stairs?
We were like, oh, there you are. You made it up the stairs. Oh, gonna find the key. This might take a while. Oh, he found it. Okay. It was absolutely delightful.
You guys got to collaborate on The Americans.
Yeah.
You were both in. First of all, congratulations on Cocaine Bear. I mean, for real.
Whoa, thanks.
It was such an exciting thing.
How crazy.
It was but it was
crazy.
an exciting. When you heard about it, you were like, "Oh, this is going to be fun," and then it was deeply fun. People were
It was
very
deeply
excited to see it. Matthew was in Cocaine Bear. He
was.
He did not last very long. I don't
He
want to.
did.
No spoil.
No
Well, no,
spoilers.
that's a spoiler. But if you go to see a lot of Matthew, you're going to see a little.
A little.
Yeah.
But he's gonna go out like a
He
firecracker.
did, yeah. He made
Yeah.
his time in Cocaine Bear deeply worth
Stamped.
it.
Yeah.
Now, have you stayed in touch with the bear?
Yes. Yeah. So when you shoot scenes like this crazy movie,
This is a very good. I mean, this is all you need for Cocaine
That's-
Bear.
that's the
very-
movie.
As a still for a film goes, that is great.
the suit, the hot pink suit, and the handbag. Okay, so when you shoot those like bear attacking scenes, it's actually this really lovely, Kiwi, New Zealand guy, large man, muscular, like
Yeah.
whatever, dressed in a skin-tight unitard,
Yeah.
crawling around looking like a bear.
Yeah.
So maybe not always scary,
Right.
but strange. And then so it's either him, lovely Alan, doing his amazing movements, and you're kind of watching, or Banks, Elizabeth Banks, yelling.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's yeah. See, now that might be. If I saw that in the woods, that's scarier to me than a bear.
It is scary. That is slightly scary. But then otherwise, it's Banks yelling to you like, "Oh my gosh!" With a megaphone. His arm's being eaten off. His legs throwing. There's blood everywhere. His face is dripping with blood. And that's what you're reacting
Yeah.
to. And it's just,
I do have a third photo, which is, I think,
Oh.
the scariest of the options to see. We have guy in bear suit, we have weird half a
yeah.
bear, and then we just have solitary bear head. Oh. There it is.
they're like, "This is what you're looking at." You're like, "Oh, got it." Scary. It's very, very scary.
Did you have, you're making the movie, did you have any sense of the cultural impact that it was going to have? No, I genuinely mean, it's so hard these days for a movie to happen where it's not based on, a Marvel film or a
Yes.
Star Wars film or some sort of, intellectual property. And you guys were just like, Cocaine Bear, let's go.
We're gonna go all in
Yeah.
for Cocaine Bear. I love it. The pandemic got weird. What can I say?
Yeah, people are like, we should do another Avengers movie. And you're like, or should we have
Or-
a bear eat some cocaine?
I guess I bet right.
It was really great. You did bet right. And it was, I mean, Elizabeth Banks did such a fantastic
She did
job.
such a fantastic. I'm so happy for her. I mean, she's so awesome anyway, but this is huge for her. This is so great.
That's great. The new show's great. And you, as always, are great. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
It's so great to see you. Carrie Russell, everybody, The Diplomat, streaming now on Netflix. We'll be right back with Graham